Joes.
Welcome to the Regular Joes podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
I'm Daryl DePriest.
And I'm Brian Mix.
The whole crowd is here, and we have an elaborate plan.
We do.
Depending on your definition of the word elaborate.
Elaborate, yes.
Yes. But we do have a plan. Unfortunately, that plan is based on someone passing away. Robert Redford, I guess it was a week ago as we record this, but he passed away at 89, which is a good run. The older we get, the older the need to say it was a good run. You know?
Yeah.
89 soon is it going to be, too young. So young. But, I think, personally, not only is there a lot of movies I like of his, but I think there was an impact on movie making and a lot of other things that he had. So we'll talk about that.
His support of independent films and whatnot.
Exactly. I think he basically invented the independent film almost. So there's that. And I mean, while you may have Tom Cruise I think he was the last of a generation of real movie stars that I don't think we have anymore. So we'll talk about all that stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
But let's go some random. Brian, what do you got?
I've got a grievance.
Oh, boy.
We passed a major anniversary a week ago today, and almost no one is talking about it.
Is it Joe versus the Volcano?
No,
again?
it's not. It's the 50-year anniversary of the premiere of Lost in Space.
Oh.
Lost in Space premiered 50 years ago, a week ago today.
Wow, you're
They
right.
didn't even talk about it at Wonderfest.
No, you didn't hear about it at all. I know. It was very strange. But yeah, it's 50 years old, and Star Trek is next year, but Lost in Space was first.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Why? I don't know. The Reluctant Stowaway is the name of the episodes where Dr. Smith first sneaks onto the Jupiter 2 and is blasted into space with the rest of the crew.
It just seems like the world we live in loves to celebrate these types of things now. And the fact that I didn't hear a peep about it is just odd, right?
I think I saw one post online. I'm in a Lost in Space group. That's probably where I saw it.
The interesting thing about it is that so many people say that Star Trek was the very first show to get 2 pilots. No, Lost in Space had 2 pilots. Star Trek was the first show to take that first pilot and work it into the show. Nope, Lost in Space did it. The first 5 episodes are the original pilot cut up. So Dr. Smith wasn't in the first pilot, and they put him in the second pilot and cut it up, and they stretched it over 5 episodes, that original pilot. So yeah, Lost in Space broke a lot of ground on television.
I wonder why it doesn't have the respect as Star Trek. Maybe things like the vegetable...
It's because of the campiness of it later.
The first season was so much more serious than the rest of it, and I think it's gotten a
I would
bad
even
rap.
say like the first half of the first season was more... Tonally, it shifted.
Dr. Smith really turned into sort of the Dr. Smith comedy hour a little bit, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, Jonathan Harris realized that if he stayed a villain, that they'd probably kill him off before second season. So he decided to be a comic villain, hoping he could stretch it out.
It was really smart on his part then.
Yeah, and when he became a comic villain, the ratings turned up, so Irwin Allen said, okay, let's run with that.
Well, I love Lost in Space. I'm happy that, they even did have a Star Trek Day on September 8th. It's September 22nd as we record, so there is no Lost in Space Day.
No Lost in Space Day.
We need to start
that. It is
that.
wild, though, to think, I believe that story that you just told, but if that's true, like, to think that an actor on the show had that much power back in the day, nowadays,
for sure,
actors just have to do, for the most part, actors have to do what's on the page. Yeah. They don't get to
unless they're Charlie Sheen.
The entire tone of my character.
Well, I mean, look at Fonzie. I mean, I think the 60s and 70s, there were those breakout characters, and that's back when, your show got either, 30 million or 50 million viewers.
It was also a very different era because they didn't have the internet, so they would base a lot of the interest in these characters by how much fan mail the studio received, and it was almost like and then they would do focus groups, and then they would have they had the ratings, but it was a completely different things, and it was the same thing as like Spock unexpectedly becoming much more popular character than they imagined.
On that point,
then shifting.
They hid the
tilting
fan
that
mail.
show.
Okay, let's try this again. They hid the fan mail to Leonard Nimoy when they were renegotiating his contract because if he knew how much he got, he would want more money.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you're probably right.
But Todd, a whole different... that you're making the point that I was like, that was the showrunners deciding, oh, he's popular, let's feature him more.
Oh yeah,
not the actor deciding I want to change.
No, but
I'm worried they're going to
the
kill
actor
me
knows.
off,
But I'm saying, Barry, I'm saying the actor knows how much clout he has. Okay, and who's getting the most interviews and all. It was a whole different thing, and that's what I'm saying. Is the actor's star would rise or fall based on a very different type of feedback.
Unless you're with William Shatner and he squashed anyone else's popularity.
William Shatner had a room full of Leonard Nimoy's mail.
I'm sure he did.
Yep.
He was using it as kindling every night in his fireplace.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I know I love Lost in Space. I think all of us do.
Yes. Yep.
Daryl, what do you got?
So my random is also a grievance. So, but there is a positive to it. So a couple weeks ago, or was it last week, Hasbro Pulse concluded a HasLab for the Star Wars Republic gunship. And last time we had the show, I actually didn't think about talking about it as a random, but I had some very serious thoughts about it. It ended up funding barely, and only in the last couple hours did people
it was
pile
neck
on.
and neck there for a while, right? It
was neck and neck, and I was in for one, kind of begrudgingly, just because I didn't want to see it fail, and if something is made for Star Wars, I have to have it. But the way they went about the campaign, I thought, was very lackluster, and I hope that Hasbro saw the very tepid response to this one, and rather than looking at the success of it, that it finally did get funded and the sigh of relief they had, I really hope they learned from the comments on why people weren't excited about this, and basically they really need to work harder to earn my enthusiasm in the future. There was basically nothing original about this except the size. They denigrated the 7 of these Republic gunships that fans already had in their collection in the course of the campaign. They said this is not a toy, when toys are the whole reason why we buy Hasbro Star Wars products, because they are toys, and we have a nearly 50-year legacy of playing with toys. So I thought everything about the campaign went wrong. So
it also
is
seems to me, Daryl, that so many of the things that they're making that are that size or even smaller have lights and sounds and other features that this one doesn't have. Like
you nailed it, Barry. It's almost like they didn't look at the other material that used the Republic gunship other than the movies. I mean, Clone Wars has some amazing scenes where it comes down with these landing lights. If they only gave us those landing lights or lit up the cockpit, I mean, people would have been jumping out of their skulls for this, or audio. And I know from these things that, yes, electronics packages do add a little bit of cost, but the perception of how much they make something new far exceeds the actual cost of doing that. And when you're putting in lights, you get audio virtually for free, or vice versa. Once you put in the electronic package, you get to unlock both of those things, pretty much effortlessly. So I thought it was a real miss. Now,
the fact that it barely funded means that people that are getting it aren't even getting very many figures with it, right?
No, they're just getting one. I think it's Coleman Trebor, which this is the other thing. Their stretch goals were all very uninspiring stretch goals too. Hasbro has said like next year is going to be all about the Geonosis Arena and the battle and all the participants in that battle.
That's big.
In my time there, we made a real effort to try and do as many of those arena Jedi and the unmade characters as we could. And when Yoda says around the survivors perimeter create, well, there's good photography there of the surviving ones. We used to have a printout of that going, check when we made, Boltar Swan or, Joe Clad Danvar, whoever we made, we'd go like, great. And so we actually used to work against a visual photo of the people in that scene. Rather than give us another Coleman Trebor, they could have gone to that resource and actually, and believe me, there's plenty of good Jedi bodies. They wouldn't have to do much tooling, just a head, to actually give us something new, and they didn't. Instead, they, chose to retread the ground that, we had already created. So I thought it was just very uninspired across the board. Now, the good news is Hasbro, in a kind of a surprise move, just brought in a brand new president of their toy division. It's a guy named Billy Legore. He came from most recently from Entertainment Earth.
Billy?
We know Billy. Billy was my Padawan.
Luke.
I hired Billy at Hasbro. So I have a long history with Billy. He is absolutely fantastic. One of the smartest guys I know, and one of the best guys as well. Like, he's got a phenomenal heart. So it's really a dramatic change in leadership. And another person who used to work for me, Kim Boyd, was president and now has moved over to licensing. So, and Billy comes in and takes her place. So this is, it's a really interesting move on Hasbro's part. Fantastic move to bring Billy in. I can't wait to see, and Billy has a long history with Marvel as well. So I really can't wait to see, the changes that he has in mind for what's going on. So, on the one hand, I feel that, the team there kind of failed and just put it over the finish line without really doing much. And in comes a wave of a breath of fresh air at president that really has me optimistic about what's to come. So
I have a question for you, and I don't know if you even know that much about it or if you do what you can or can't say, but I've just always been curious about these HasLab projects that are crowdfunded. Like, how much... I mean, they were showing a physical model of this thing before it ever went up for sale, when it went up for sale. So how much of the tooling is done before they even put it up for ordering?
A model isn't a tooled thing. A model is a 3D built printout of what you want to do. They're not going to tool it until they get until it got greenlit, basically. So now they're in. Now they're putting their package.
So designed and engineered, but not tooled. Right.
Okay. And the engineering is being worked on while they show it, I'm sure. So, but yeah, so that's a model. So it does cost a lot to develop that model, but the tooling costs a whole lot. Right. So, and
okay. I've always been curious how much they have to put in up front to get it to the point where it's up to the fans to fund it or not.
Yeah. So, once it does get funded, the cost of that to develop that model is amortized in, 10,000 pieces. It's very insignificant, to develop it. Right. Then you're in actually the cost of the goods that you have to worry about the extra figures you add and things like that, because that can really erode your profit if you don't get that right. So
I also wonder how much of what's been going on, and I only really follow the Star Wars ones. I don't really pay that much attention to the other ones that they've done for G.I. Joe and other lines. But I know when people got the Jabba sail barge, people that bought extras of those were able to sell them at a huge profit. And from what I've seen, I don't think any of the other ships and vehicles that they've done have held their value as much. So I don't think you're getting people buying 2 and 3 and 4 of them because they know they can flip them later. And that's probably cut down the number of people or the number of pieces that are being ordered, because I think a lot of speculators were buying the first couple thinking they were going to make a lot of money on them.
Well, this will be the second lowest production run of a Star Wars HasLab. The first being the sail barge. Yeah. To your point, because nobody really knew what was going on. The sail barge was still very expensive because it was so big at the time, that people ordered kind of tentatively on that one, and it barely crossed the finish line. I think the production run was maybe 8,000, and this is going to be something over 10. I think is what it is. all the others, like once the success of the HasLab was known, people piled onto the Razor Crest, and the Ghost did a huge run too. So I think people were speculating on those, but now they can't sell them. I see them at the Star Wars shows I go to, and no one's, taking those home. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen people asking basically what they paid for them and not being able to get it.
Help, please! These things are giant. Please take it off my hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so that's my kind of rant and an accolade to Hasbro.
These have been mild rants. If someone, let's how about that fucking ABC assholes? Let's come on. No, we're not going to talk about that. Todd, what do you got?
I was going to talk about those ABC assholes. No, I will say quickly. I got something else to say, but I have not watched Jimmy Kimmel in years. I will watch tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
and be very, very happy to do that.
Me too.
So 3 years ago, The Expanse was canceled. I love this show. I read all the books. There were a number of short stories. I read all those too. And I always wish that we got to see a continuation of or a further expansion of some of those characters. Boom Comics is coming out with a spin-off story called A Little Death, okay, that focuses on Amos Burton, who is one of my absolute favorite characters in the story. He's absolutely terrific. And this sounds a lot like one of the short stories that focus just on him. And he goes back to Earth, Baltimore, where he grew up, which is it's a rough place in the future. I'm really looking forward to this, and that's available now. The first issue is available now. So, anyways, from Boom Studios, Expanse, A Little Death. If you wanted more Amos Burton, because you could never get enough Amos Burton, that's another helping for you. So that's what I got.
Cool, Barry.
I'm shocked Todd didn't go with this one, so I will do it myself.
I have it written down too.
Yeah, Variety announced that Daredevil has Born Again has been renewed for a third season on Disney Plus. So you guys that canceled your Disney Plus subscriptions have a little bit of time, but you're eventually going to need to resubscribe.
We'll see if they do the right thing. Well, we know they're claiming they're doing
the right thing.
We'll see.
I mean, look, we haven't even gotten season 2 yet, right? But in advance of season 2 even airing, they've renewed for a third season. So
that's terrific.
Well, I gotta, you read these. Like I complained, my rant last week was like everything on some of these sites that we gather our news from is just either rumors or podcasts or whatever. But so they are filming Spider-Man: Brave New World. And, and I was thinking about it when you get down to, not that it's fully Marvel, but they have not missed with Spider-Man. I mean, could we say that there's 3 solid, like, really, really solid movies of any one single character? I mean, Todd won't even think Iron Man, all 3 are solid, right? I mean, I'd say maybe Captain America. But anyway,
people would argue Captain America, and I think they get. I think those are, if you consider the first 3, the arc, I think those are really good. And I actually think the middle film in the Spider-Man 3 is weak. I think there's one weaker film in each of them, but not on the level.
You think? Wait. You think
Far From Home?
Really?
It's okay. It's
I don't buy that.
It's a placeholder. It's one of those, like, this happens then, and we can't change all these things. Anyways, but
I don't. But anyway, but Tom
they're all
Holland.
great. They're all very, very good. They're all very good.
Tom Holland was injured doing a stunt on this new one, so they're taking a break.
Yeah, I mean, I heard varying degrees of injured all the way up through cracked his skull open and needed to go to the emergency room. So,
it sounded like a concussion from what?
They said that they're taking a week off. Originally, they said they weren't going to stop filming, and now they're saying they're taking a week off.
So that's probably not a cracked skull.
No, there's not. That's a concussion.
Yeah,
a concussion thing.
So it's especially stunts in general are dangerous when you're swinging around like he is, because they're in, for this movie at least, some of the web swinging action is they've got him on a ropes. Like they had kind of gotten away from doing that, and now they're kind of going back to practical like web swinging. So
interesting. Well, anyway, I am looking forward to that movie. I don't know when that's supposed to come out. 26 or 27? Probably 26, I guess.
I think
thinking 26, but I don't know if I have
it is. I think I read. I don't remember the date though, but we'll see. So anyway, I've been happy with those movies. Anyone have any other random?
Did we all watch the teaser trailer that dropped for Mandalorian and Grogu?
I'm protesting Disney, so I did not.
I have not.
It's a theatrical release. It's not a Disney Plus.
Disney Plus is the only way to get at their pocketbooks.
It dropped today on YouTube and probably everywhere else you can watch trailers. And as we record this, it dropped today. I enjoyed it. I'm looking.
No, I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed it. Let me ask you this, and we're really not going to get into the weeds of what's going on, but do you think they dropped it? I think dropping it today is a mistake. Do you think they dropped it today to avoid all the sort of backlash about the whole?
Well, it was supposed to drop last week, and they held it because of the backlash. And then I don't know what inspired them to drop it today. I almost think if they knew they were putting Kimmel back on the air tomorrow night, they could have premiered it during that, and it might have helped too. But
they probably would,
really know.
Supposedly, in the YouTube comments is a ton of people against them. They probably should have waited a day or two.
Well, I rewatched Superman the other night, and I now firmly believe that there is a pocket universe with monkeys that are typing most of these YouTube comments. So
I'm sure there is, but
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
On both sides, but so that
I know there was a
May.
few.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's
Super shit. Hashtag.
Exactly. We've always said that Filoni and Favreau do fan service right, and there's a bunch of stuff in that trailer that just got me super excited to see, like, some of what I saw. So
Cool.
Daryl didn't see it yet, so I don't want to say.
No, it was fun. It'll be good.
Yeah.
I was told by my wife I had to wait to watch it with her. So
you can talk about it, Barry. It doesn't matter.
There's not much content there. I mean, there's just images. You have no idea what the story is.
It's just a bunch of stuck together clips of different little things that would seem
the
exciting.
Say, we saw a man type creature looking very violent, which was all you've ever seen him is stuck up against the wall in Jabba's palace. So
I love the Man.
So that was cool, and the
they're taken, ladies. Sorry, I know the women go crazy
the fact that both of these guys,
men who know the names of Star Wars characters.
Before the show's over, somebody's going to nerd out on some other thing. So whatever.
So the Man, Barry, we're in a great comic from the Dark Horse era, and we made that into a comic 2-pack with Troop Builder Man Warriors.
Oh, nice!
They're awesome. They are so good.
Well, they also have the little guy from the chess table on the Falcon, a live-action, giant-sized one of those guys, the guy that picks the guy up over his head.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So there was some cool imagery in the trailer. I mean, I'm sure the stuff is all blink and you miss it, but just very cool imagery.
Get a better outfit.
That nerd boys will nerd out over. So
all right, I've got to watch it now.
There you go. You know what? You also have to watch Fanboy Collectibles.
Watch for their new drops.
In stock. Hot Toys Return of the Jedi Han Solo. That's in stock. So if you missed it, want it, need it,
coming
check
soon
it out.
to what's in the box near you. Mine will be here.
There
Friday.
You go. Also,
Fanboy.
Asmus Toys, and I know you have some really boring Asmus Toys figures, Barry, right?
Well, no, you just don't like Lord of the Rings. I happen to like my Lord of the Rings ads.
Everything you like, Dave, isn't by default boring. It just really isn't.
No, yes, it is. Pam was watching Lord of the Rings today, and I'm like, I'm trying to eat lunch here. Do you mind? Can I watch the episode of Friends where...
Can you fast forward through the walking, please? Can you just, yeah.
I'd rather watch the 30th time of Friends. Anyway, Asma's Toys, Snake Plissken with real hair. I think friend of the show, Titus Welliver, was talking to us about that.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I didn't know that was coming out. I have the other one, but that's awesome. But they got Sideshow and Pops and Hot Toys and Kotobuki and Hasbro and Zero. Is it Zero? Something Zero Toys? But they got everything you need.
A really cool
3-0
statue from the
3-0.
Matrix they've got up for pre-order. That looks really cool.
Yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff. So check those guys out. I know there's more Deadpool stuff coming out. We'll probably start seeing that up for pre-orders, but they got everything. So check them out, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut, and tell them the regular Joe singing.
For Daryl, there's a Charizard statue. Well, Daryl's a big Pokemon guy.
I try to limit the amount of Pokemon 3 physical merch I have.
Uh-huh.
I do have some. The kids, I'm an easy target for Christmas, so I've got...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Over
it's
there,
like, oh,
I've
God,
got
I don't know
people.
what to get Daryl. He's into 50,000 different things. let me just find something.
It's not hard to know what Daryl likes. It's hard to know what he doesn't already have.
That's right.
That's true.
That is a
I
problem.
was watching something the other day, and they basically called out someone being nerdy as saying, "This is the guy who caught all the Pokemon."
Oh, wait, what was that on? I saw that.
I just saw it, and I was like, "Oh God, that was hilarious."
That is,
I saw that too. I don't
is
remember what it
He's
was.
the one that caught all the Pokemon. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, wasn't that in Peacemaker?
That is in
was an
Peacemaker.
episode of
Yes,
Peacemaker.
thank you. It was just, I remember it was just like, that was good. That was
It had
good.
to be
That's
some
right.
clever show.
Todd, I love how your real world and the fantasy world. They totally
Okay,
overlap.
Carol, let me just say it. When you consume as much media as I do,
Yeah.
okay,
It's hard
when
to.
I eliminated news, I picked up like 12 hours a week audiobooks. So it's like everything is just blending in together now. So
I'm
it's like-
surprised you didn't say. I was just talking to Peacemaker, and he's got a
Yeah,
buddy.
it's like
Exactly.
there's a thing in The Simpsons where like Homer will refer to things that happened in his childhood and they were on TV. Sometimes I kind of lapse into that same thing.
We all do the same thing.
I guess if
I'm
you're gonna
remember when
leave,
me and
about
my
AI and
friends-
the artificial reality thing. It's actually just
My friends and I found that body down by the track. Wait. That was Stand By Me. Oh, right. Okay.
Yes.
I guess if you're gonna lose your mind, having your own Ready Player One just in your head is a good way to go.
I have a lot in there that's looping. So, but yeah.
True.
Speaking of Peacemaker, I'm not caught up on it yet. I'm one behind. That show's been great. And it's definitely
James Gunn claims 6 through 8 are just like he hasn't even previewed them for anybody. There's a lot going on with 6 through 8 supposedly, and I think it ties into the next Superman. I listened to an interview of him on somebody. I think Chris Hardwick had him on, as a matter of fact. His third incarnation of his Nerdist podcast.
What is he calling it now? It's got another weird name, right?
It's got a third name. It's something. I really don't remember.
It's a very touchy-feely name, from what I remember.
No, it's like something about. I have it on my podcast player. Something about like feelings or.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a very touchy-feely name.
Yeah. I'm stalling here. Here it is. No, that's not it. I don't know. Anyway, it's some. Oh, here it is. You're overthinking it. I think you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
That's not that catchy. I don't know. He should have never sold Nerdist. But yeah, he claims he's up to what episode number is like 1,200 and something.
Wow.
But for us to, I guess that's a lot. I mean, we've been.
It is a lot, but it's also spread out across 3 different shows that you can't really number across 3 different shows.
But when you think we've been doing this for 13
Hey, they
years,
do this with comics all the time. Okay, they're claiming that there's, X issues of a book when you've actually got to collect like 12 different series to get there.
It's like
Dave, there was a time where Nerdist was doing multiple episodes a week, right?
And they must, because we're at 590 and for 13 years, and he's at like 1,100 and something. So.
I think peak Nerdist, I was listening to a few episodes a week.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 a week.
For sure. It's a shame, that whole thing that happened to him. Anyway, it's not about Chris Hardwick. It's about Robert Redford. So he was, like we said, he was 89, passed away about a week ago. But, he was an actor for sure. But like Todd and I were saying, he really, in 1980, started the Sundance Institute. It wasn't originally called Sundance. He named it after his character a little bit later. But for independent filmmaking, when there was almost no such thing as independent filmmaking. He basically helped bring independent filmmaking to the forefront, and also the idea
in the
of
U.S. in the United States,
the idea of the film festival.
He basically took the European model and brought it to the United States, and
now there's all these film festivals in the United States, and Sundance was one of the first ones. So he wasn't just a pretty face. And he was an activist for the environment and everything. But from his career, I really, to me, growing up in the 70s and 80s, I think of 3 movie stars. I think there's actors, and then to me, Al Pacino's of that same era. But he, to me, is more like an actor and less of a movie star. And I don't think say movie star in a bad context. A guy,
a movie star is attached to a property, and the property is elevated because of that.
He led the box office for multiple years. I mean, so to me it was I think of him for sure. There's 2 others that I have that come to mind.
Steve McQueen and Paul Newman.
Exactly.
Yep. It's those 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
And I'd say they're a generation ahead of the Al Pacinos and the Harrison Fords.
I think so too.
And
they were the Al Pacinos, the De Niros. Those people were hardcore actors, and these people were personas. Okay, and the roles would be shaped around them, whereas the others reshape themselves for the roles.
That's well said.
Yeah. And so, but like I said, it's a whole different era. But it's all. I mean, you knew what you. But the other thing is, you go through his filmography, and you cannot accuse him of playing the same character over and over again. There's just like a whole range of very, very different things in there, and it's really hard. But I think each of us should pick one favorite Redford role, and it is hard. It is hard.
We'll get into others too. I don't think I was curious because I remember it was always a big deal when Robert Redford and Paul Newman were in movies together, which there was a bunch, and even when Paul Newman and Steve McQueen were in movies together. I don't think Robert Redford and Steve McQueen were ever in a movie together.
No, I don't think so. No.
Interesting.
So who's got a favorite? Daryl, do you have a favorite?
I do, and I just want to preface this by saying, so I went back and I looked at the Redford filmography, and just to pick out, I've seen so many of his films, but I haven't seen all of them, and I haven't seen some important ones. But I'm saving those for like a movie night with Patty. But I was shocked at like how many fondly remembered films that he's done, and his 3 top films. So my favorite of his are my top rated films. I'm going to put Captain America, Winter Soldier aside because that's not different. It's not a big role for him, but it's a top rated movie. But I love this. The Sting is probably the one that's at the top of my list. Yep. Butch Cassidy is under that, and The Natural. And I'm kind of looking at these and going, this is like a Harrison Ford trifecta for me. It's like I came to see a lot of similarities between the films I love that Harrison Ford was in and Redford, like a generation earlier, playing kind of very similar iconic roles. But to your point, Todd, completely different. But I do have one favorite acting role that maybe I'll save. But my favorite movie is The Sting.
Is The Sting?
Yeah. Is The Sting.
Dave, are you there yet? Are you ready to make Sophie's choice?
Oh yeah, I can. I mean, yeah, I did even beforehand. I mean, there's a lot I love, and there's a lot on my list that really stand out, and probably weren't even remembered to be in my top 100 movies, of course. But The Natural for me. I mean, not only is a lot of the other ones I like, he's not the only guy in. So he stands out in The Natural, but The Natural stands out on so many levels for me because, I mean, the cinematography is amazing. The whole story, the sort of fantastical yet grounded story. I don't like sports.
Barry Levinson, I think.
Barry Levinson.
Yeah.
I don't like sports, and I could watch The Natural every single time it's on. There's a lot of sports movies I like Moneyball too, but
there's a little cluster of baseball movies in that kind of era that are all watchable for the story and not necessarily baseball.
Yeah.
But The Natural is superb. It's such a extreme, such an American story.
Yeah.
With the opportunity denied, the random crime, this comeback, this incredible comeback, and it's just it's just a great story. It's one of those gives you chills things.
Yeah, exactly. I was watching the clip the other day, and when he hits the ball and the sparks, the hair on the back of my neck still stands up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what a movie for him. I mean, it is about him. He powers.
But it was also, he aged into that role. He was right. He was right at that age. It was the right role for the right time, and at a point when he was basically an aging pretty boy at that point. And, here's this person, is almost allegorical for being past his prime. And yet he delivered this role, which was is incredible. And I think there's a few things. There's parallels with, Paul Newman, I think that was in The Verdict, was the same thing. When he played an older kind of washed up character who who pushed everyone back on their knees. And The Natural is just, it's
and
awesome.
Robert Redford's, interesting enough, went to college for baseball.
Yep.
I think and sort of drank too much and got kicked out. So kicked off the team. So he sort of ruined his ability to play, serious baseball.
So I hope he had a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Barry, do you have a favorite?
Yeah. I mean, I can certainly come up with a favorite. I like Daryl. I do just want to preface it like he kind of passed me. Like I did. I don't have the same affinity for him or his movies. I think that maybe the rest of you guys do, and it's.
Yep.
I don't think it's my age. I know I'm a couple years young. I don't think it's that because most of you guys didn't see these movies first run either. But I don't know. And I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. He's just not like one of my. I don't see him as that big movie star, and I'm aware that he is. Right.
Really?
But it's just that. But that said, and when I went down his list and some of his biggest movies, I realized I've never seen. So. I haven't seen Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. I haven't seen The Sting. I haven't seen The Natural.
Whoa. I'll even give you Butch Cassidy because for whatever reason, you haven't seen The Sting?
No. It came out in 1973, Dave.
That doesn't matter.
It was probably 4 when it came out.
It's on TCM twice a year.
I know. Look, I realize it's out there and it exists. I've never seen it. That said, I have.
No wonder Barry was like, "We're going to spend the whole show on Robert Redford."
So Barry, if we all went like, Barry, if we all did this, you wouldn't get it.
But when you texted that you wanted to, I was like, as the main topic because it just doesn't.
Okay, Barry, just sit back and you're going to learn some things tonight.
No, that's fine.
Okay?
I'm fine doing that.
Barry,
we'll give you a list of.
We're going to
give you. We're going to build you a list
you get to watch.
Yeah, and actually, that's great. Like I'm again. It's not like I'm saying I've seen them and I don't like them. I just haven't. It hasn't hit my radar.
You will come out with a list of movies you need to see. That it's not like, oh my God, this freaking Robert Redford. It has nothing to do with him. There's so many
I get
good
that,
movies.
and I do have a list. So I will. I think. Again, as you said, putting Captain America aside because I love that movie so much, but he's not the main focus of that movie.
Right, yeah.
I think All the President's Men is probably my favorite of his roles that I've seen.
Yep.
I realize that that's also a bit of an ensemble, but he really is one of the leads, right?
Yeah, no, he's a great role.
And then I think the other one that I'll throw
favorites.
out there, and again, I didn't see this because it came out the year I was born, but I love Barefoot in the Park. I think that's a great movie.
Yep.
So
That's one of my favorites.
Neil Simon.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. And I even really like Sneakers, and I know that's also an ensemble, and that was not a
It
hit
is,
movie
and
when it came out.
it's fun.
had
And it
terrible
gets
It is a
game.
fun movie.
Sneakers is fun.
But it's a fun movie. And a decent
And he put it
proposal,
together.
even. I mean, he's not the lead in
He
that.
brought everybody else in on Sneakers.
He
Yeah.
did. Yep.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you got?
Oh, he just
Number
named
one.
he named a couple of them. I'm going to go with Nothing in the Dark.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Twilight
that.
Zone. His one of his very
Oh,
first things.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Very
okay.
first,
Yes.
Yep, very first
Yeah.
role. Yep.
One of the very first things he played. It was a fantastic character, and you didn't see one of the twists you did not see coming. In the Twilight
Yep.
Zone.
I have not seen that for years and years.
I
and
haven't
years.
seen it in a long, long time.
I did a watch through of all the Twilight Zone one winter, and I haven't seen it since then. But
And Barefoot in the Park, Barry, he was in the play.
He was on Broadway. He
was on Broadway.
originated that role on Broadway.
4 years that ran.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, and then immediately he did the movie with
Jane Fonda. It was not Jane Fonda in the play. It was
No.
somebody else.
Elizabeth Ashley
Yep.
in the play.
Yep.
But I love that movie. First of all, it's more of a Jane. It's more Jane Fonda because he's supposed to be a stiff, and he plays a stiff very well. Jane Fonda is fantastic in that movie. She's just funny and beautiful and just quirky and everything.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But that
almost
is
pre
fun.
Jane Fonda too, because it's kind of like it's
Yep,
not
studio,
she
studio
became-
Jane Fonda. Yeah,
It was Studio Jane Fonda. Exactly. That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
But that is a fun. That even I mean, as if you try to look at it as a little bit of a period piece, I probably watched it maybe like I think it was a year ago. It's totally still holds up. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's well, it's not really a period piece, but it's of its time.
No, I'm saying if you look at it of a movie as of its time, not
Right, yeah.
it was contemporary when it came out, but
Yeah.
and there is for one of the few things on either the TV or the screen, a realistic New York City apartment. I mean, if someone who's lived in New York in a bunch of apartments, they're mostly shitty. I mean, and tiny, and it's not like Friends. You know, you rarely get your grandmother's sublet.
It's not even like Seinfeld.
It's probably not even like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so Todd,
love
you go
Barefoot
ahead.
in the
I got a
Park.
couple honorable mentions. But
So mine is 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh,
And
okay.
I love that film. He is the most normal guy in that film of any of the roles he plays, and the fact that he can pass as like a normal, I mean, somewhat, regular guy who just finds himself in the center of this conspiracy. I love a really good conspiracy thriller, but it's a very hard genre to pull off and make it work well.
Yeah.
And I said this a lot when we talked about Winter Soldier, is for a conspiracy thriller to work, you have to have at the center of it a person that you have absolute faith in. You have to believe in their integrity, and you have to believe that their view is correct, because everything else around them is suspect. And that's why the Winter Soldier worked, with basically almost a cameo role by him. Also why 3 Days of Condor is the perfect conspiracy thriller movie. And I love it. So
I saw that in the theater, and I was 10. My parents they used to bring us to this craziest movies. Like, what 10-year-old wants to see that? That's probably why I don't have as much appreciation for it, because I'm like, this is all talking. This is boring.
It is
what do I
all
know?
talking, but to take what his perception was and to realize, that it's just, yeah.
So I watched it last night because I wanted to get in, one more film before today. And it is, his acting in this film is so phenomenal to establish that character that you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a kind of a fun setup before all the mayhem happens.
Yep.
And, he develops a lot of personality, and that, I think, it wins the audience on his side. But then, his acting as he goes through this is just tremendous and nuanced, and It's phenomenal. It's really good. Now, that's a movie that I think would be interesting to get remade, today. It probably has
surprised.
been.
But also, it's pre-Watergate? Is it pre-Watergate?
75, no.
No, so it's post-Watergate. So it was at this era when, even people that trusted in things weren't, the trust was significantly eroded in that period of time. And just, for this person to have everything, the kind of sheets pulled back on everything and realize that he wasn't even doing what he thought he was doing. And, So
it was on Dave's point about being bored. It's always used in writing classes as an example of how to bring up the pace of the movie, because the book was the 5 Days of the Condor.
6 days. Brian, it was the 6 days, so they doubled
6 days of the Condor?
6 days of the Condor.
6 Days of the Condor.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't think I just have an odd perspective on it because I saw it when I was 10, so that's why I'm sure it's better than that.
So
10-year-olds.
to that end, I have an affinity for a Robert Redford film, which is not considered a great film, from 1975 that I saw in a drive-in, and it may have been the second feature, but I absolutely loved it, and that's The Great Waldo Pepper. Has anyone ever seen this?
Sure.
Yeah.
He's a stunt aerialist, and and makes some really bad decisions, including killing a woman out on his wing. But I love biplanes, and I love that whole era, the 1930s era, and I just really like that film.
The one of my favorites that has been mentioned is A Bridge Too Far. He's not the main character in it, but he's a very important character in it, and it's great.
No one is.
No one is the main character in that movie. You're right.
You know what's funny, Ted? You mentioned the 3 Days of the Condor and Great Waldo Pepper, both 75. This is back when actors of his caliber, and he was at the height of his caliber starting in 72 probably, are doing multiple movies in a year. I mean, now it's 3 to 5 years probably between movies, and look at the difference in those two movies. It's crazy. It just doesn't happen that way anymore.
Well, but when you look at the kind of movies that are getting made now, it takes that long to make them. Back then, if it was mostly a little bit of action and a lot of talking, you could make that many movies in a year.
There's too much CGI.
I will say too, if you do take the time to watch The Great Waldo Pepper, it feels a lot more like a 1967 movie than a 1975 movie. It's got that earlier era feel to it, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and
I didn't know this until I sort of did went down his filmography and everything. But apparently he did a cameo, just voiceover cameo in White House Plumbers as Bob Woodward.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't make it that far into White House Plumbers to get to that.
Neither did I. But
cool that they got him back even as a voiceover only just to do a cameo.
I saw that, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I think All the President's Men is probably this. I have it as my number 2 of his, but I've watched that. That's another one. I'll watch the whole thing anytime it's on. I mean, that's
it's a needle drop movie. Anytime.
It's such a great movie.
It is. Again, one of those things where you're taking a story that it's like making a movie about Lincoln. Okay, it's like how it ends. Okay, you've got to do a great job. The story is going to be very compelling. It's going to be very well paced and well told because you know how this story ends, and it's just superb. They did a really good job.
Wait a second. I wrote down that it came out in 72. That's not right.
76.
76.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's definitely not.
Yeah,
72
I don't know
would be
why.
very prophetic.
I was going to say, what the hell?
It's like, at the hearings they were running dailies just to see what's going on.
76, for sure. Yeah. I have another couple obscure, not obscure, but and only because I love heist movies. If you've seen the Hot Rock, another ensemble thing. But anything you're breaking in, stealing diamonds, I love to see that. Someone mentioned Sneakers. I do like Sneakers. Spy Game is good too. He definitely produced that. I happen to like The Electric Horseman too. him and Jane Fonda.
It's got its charm, and it's yeah. No, I do like that as well. It's a film I've only seen like one.
I never saw it.
I'm going to pull that as a
I haven't
soundbite,
seen
and we're going to use that anytime Dave gives us shit from now on. I happen to like the Electric Horseman too.
The Electric Horseman is a good flick.
It is a good flick.
I've seen that one. That one's not a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Rhinestone Cowboy.
I love him with that light up thing.
Oh yeah, and again, it's almost got a natural element, the natural element to it, where it's got this guy who's washed up or should be washed up, and he's just like clinging on to his fingertips.
Which is interesting. That was 79, and he's still sort of, he's not this actor who's like, he easily could have pushed like, I'm the leading, the handsome leading man. He's playing like a broken down guy already.
He did that, and he wasn't doing roles at 61 years old that should have been left to someone in their maybe 30s or 40s, unlike other actors. But
well, he kind of did a little bit in Indecent Proposal. He was probably a little too old to be playing her love interest, but it worked for that movie.
I think so.
Well, he's
that
not
was
her
the whole
love
point,
interest.
was he was supposed to be. No,
Yeah.
he was the older money guy that was. Yeah,
he got the Razzie for one of the worst performances. That's probably his role he's the most embarrassed of.
Yeah,
I would think.
A River Runs Through It is just a beautiful film.
He was a very accomplished director as well.
Yep.
He
won the Academy Award as a director, not an actor.
As a director, and at the time, he was the first actor to win an Academy Award as a director
for Ordinary
Kevin
People.
Costner and those people.
Ordinary
I don't love Ordinary People. It's a little too stiff for me, but I love Quiz Show.
Quiz Show is a very well-made movie,
and was nominated. Quiz Show is an amazing movie.
Yep.
Despite Rob Morrow being in it, I had a little issue with Rob Morrow.
I don't remember him ever being on the list. What happened with Rob Morrow?
No, I'm joking. He was a pain in the ass when he was on the. He was I don't want to say bit part, but definitely a much smaller role. Not on the TV show I worked on. Yet every day, I always had the dailies because we would get them back in the 90s or 80s, put them on videotape. He wanted to come into our camera room and watch the dailies every day. I'm like, dude, he's
committed to his craft. Okay.
You're in 2 minutes. You're a bartender in 2 minutes of the show. You don't need to see the dailies.
He parlayed that into Northern Exposure. It's like
I guess so.
It
lasted like 3 episodes.
Was that Tattingers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I was talking to Johnny Depp about him, because they were in a movie together, he would, I should give Depp a call. Like, dude, I don't care, And I mentioned that to Johnny Depp when I talked to him once, and he was like, oh yeah, Rob Morrow, yeah. That was just the reaction I got. Anyway.
Back to a little less Rob Morrow, a little more Robert Redford.
When Rob Morrow dies, we're going to do a retrospective of the 3 things he was in.
And you are looking forward to that. One of the most high-profile roles that he's attached to, and again, it's not a universally respected telling of the story, but The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
That movie works entirely based on his charm.
And that's the whole point, right?
But I'm saying, it doesn't work on a whole lot of other levels.
I don't think any of those incarnations have ever worked.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Leo DiCaprio one didn't work.
There are people that will say that it's not adaptable, that it just does not work off the page. But it's like I like the film, but I think I like the film entirely because of his Jay Gatsby. So,
interesting.
Very good.
What else was I going to say? I thought I had something else. Anything else obscure? I mean, I wrote down all the ones Jeremiah Johnson, which I do remember seeing in the movie theaters. It's not for me necessarily, but he at least in the articles I read, he claimed that was one of his favorite roles. And actually filmed in the land he bought in Utah that eventually became the Skydance Resort.
Yeah.
Yep. I have not seen that one, but I've added it to the list.
I have seen it. I actually, again, it was a film I saw as a kid. We actually, my brothers and I built a little like Jeremiah Johnson type shelter out in the woods behind our house after watching that. It was very,
remember,
very different role.
It was another movie I saw in the theaters when I was too young to probably see it, and I avoid it. I don't know.
A couple years older than you, I think so. We saw it. You saw it at the drive-in, and like I said, to us it was pretty cool. And
that's early.
That was a movie that they made a lot of. That was a movie they made a lot of like B and C movie knockoffs of. There were a bunch of films that came after that tried to carry that same theme.
That was 72. What was I, freaking 7? They're taking me to see this when I'm 7? What is wrong with these people?
This survival story.
It was cheaper than a babysitter, Dave.
Yeah, I think they wanted to see the movie, Dave. About
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid in that you don't like Westerns?
I don't dislike Westerns.
We have you on recording saying you don't like Westerns.
I don't seek them out, but...
Okay. I think it's an extremely watchable Western, even for someone who doesn't like Westerns.
I agree with that. Almost say Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid isn't a Western. It is a buddy picture that happens to be set in the West.
It's also like a heist
picture.
You
could have set that if Bonnie and Clyde hadn't been Bonnie and Clyde, you could have set this in the 1920s and made them,
Well, it's a true story, so.
No, but I'm saying you could have done the same thing with two different characters in the 1920s. It was more about the characters than because they completely embellished the relationship between the two of them.
Yeah.
It was like it's a made up story based on two real characters. But
and it's a 1969 movie with no background music.
Yeah.
There's 3 songs in it, but no background music. It's all
no background music, and the theme. I think the theme got the Academy Award for best.
Marvin Hamlish.
Raindrops are falling on my head. Won the Academy Award.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
There's
Casting
also
Rocks on a bicycle. So. Yep.
Not that Pam will watch it every time it's on. I just don't get it the way we were. I guarantee I was dragged to that because I went to every Barbra Streisand. This is Barbra Streisand, right?
Yeah.
She's
I went to every one, but it's such a chick movie. I can walk in and she's crying. I'm like, are you literally crying about a movie that came out in 1972 or 4 or whatever?
We're still talking about Butch Cassidy?
No, I'm talking about the way we were.
I missed that transition. Sorry. Okay, I was still on the.
I wasn't saying Butch Cassidy's a chick movie.
Okay, yeah, I lost that transition. Sorry. Yeah, but I have seen that, but but I think it's of that era. Yeah, it's the kind of thing that I think I saw on TV at one point. But also him making a movie with Streisand, that is of that, it was that era. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Streisand, Fonda, Streep. I mean, these are some phenomenal leading.
Oh yeah, no. Yep.
Faye Dunaway. I mean, just amazing stuff.
Yeah. So
he was also
what is the line that you? Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say from Butch Cassidy to Sundance Kid, which was still in my head when you moved on. What's the line that you remember most? Is there a line?
Can't swim. Oh hell, the fall will probably kill you.
That's good.
Yeah, that's up there.
For me, it's always been. You think you used enough dynamite there, Butch?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a fun movie. It really is. So, he just did a lot of stuff. An amazing range. I think the Sting exists because of that movie. Because I think there was, they were just looking for a property. You put the two of them together again.
Their chemistry.
And they did complement each other really, really well.
Oh, this thing is so much fun, and that is you could watch that, and it's like
it's another needle drop movie.
Oh, and it's again since it is a period piece, it's so watchable.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yep.
The Sting 2, on the other hand, not quite so much.
No.
That's a
or
disgrace.
Butch and Sundance. I mean, neither of those films needed another pass. So
I feel like, other than the show I wasn't on, this is the one I've contributed the least to because I haven't seen any of the television you're talking about.
So you have to watch. You've seen The Natural or no?
No.
okay, so we're going to go around the horn. At least four of us. We're going to pick a film that Barry's got to watch. Redford film that Barry's got to watch.
I mean,
certainly
The
make a
Natural for
recommendation.
sure.
Yeah.
Dave?
So I'm going to say, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I
also
say
going
that.
with The Natural?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say The Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or should I watch
Butch
Butch
Cassidy-
Cassidy
Butch-
before the Sting? Or I know they're
Yes.
not tied
Yeah,
together.
doesn't
but does it
matter.
Well, you know what? I would watch them in production order. I would go Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid first, and then The Sting, then The Natural. Do we got anything else we're working in there? We got one more slot for him.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen 3 Days of the Condor?
No,
He won't
I haven't
like
seen
that.
that one either.
There you go. Or
Sneakers. Have you seen Sneakers?
I've seen Sneakers, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen Quiz Show?
Yes. I loved
favorite
Rob
line
Morrow
from-
in that.
He was good. He actually was very good in that.
Our turn.
My
Okay.
favorite
So,
line in
anyway,
Sneakers was,
yeah.
"Oh, they shot Kennedy. He just didn't die."
Well, I mean, those are the three we mentioned are in my top.
Yeah, well,
Five,
and
so-
I actually had them on my list highlighted in red because I knew they'd come up, and I knew I hadn't seen them. So
Yeah.
It's funny. He was also incredibly loyal to like his crew and stuff, and his costumer on everything or costume designer was a guy named Bernie Pollack, who's Sidney Pollack's famous director's brother.
Oh,
Oh, that's interesting.
My brother actually worked for him on a movie, Bright Lights, Big City, and he kept on bringing him all kinds of stuff out of the Sundance catalog because this guy sort of designed stuff for the Sundance catalog, which was the thing. There's also the Sundance Channel because is his too. But and I looked that guy up. He worked on like every single movie of his, so he like held on to his people, which is nice.
Who was in Bright Lights, Big City?
it was Michael J.
Kiefer
Fox. wasn't it?
Sutherland and Michael J. Fox. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Michael
was
J.
not
Fox,
a good movie. Yeah,
I was going to say, I know I saw that. I can remember nothing about that movie.
there's nothing really.
I just
to
remember Michael J. Fox being in it. I don't remember. I know I saw it too, but I don't remember it.
He played a non-lovable character, which did not work for me at all. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I remember my brother would look. This is Michael J. Fox's shirt. He would show.
Okay. I was trying to think of Phoebe Cates. I knew there was someone of
Was
that
she in
era
there?
that was in it. Yeah. Yep.
They would take a boys 20 shirt and shorten it. Just the way it is. But anyway, you know, I think for most of us, a career very well put together, and you know, not to mention directing and championing causes and independent movies. You know, there's not a lot of people like this guy.
Yeah, they don't make him like that anymore. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
One of a
Even
kind.
Tom Cruise, he's a little selfish.
That's right.
Again, it's like I said. He is. I think I can't think of anybody else from that generation that's still. And I think we kind of defined where that
Even
was.
Clint Eastwood. I mean,
I
no,
was just gonna say
nothing.
Clint
Clint
Eastwood's
Eastwood
the
is
only one
an
that comes
enigma.
close.
I would say though Clint Eastwood is of that, but a different. You know, he was mainstream Hollywood later. He did a lot of his iconic stuff was not. You know, was.
But Clint Eastwood was always in a Clint Eastwood movie,
right.
whether
and again,
it's
but again, he was
a Western
he was, right,
or
but his
those monkey movies.
yeah. Yep.
So anyway, well, rest in peace, Robert Redford.
Yeah, and
a nice
to
run.
further your point, Todd, the the other contemporaries of his generation, well, there really aren't. I'd say we
Yep.
talked about the later generation, maybe the Nicholsons, the De Niros, the
Yep.
Pacinos. They don't have the vast influence that Redford did, because of what he built. So I don't think there's anybody else, like
Yeah.
him. It's
I mean,
And-
Paul
and again,
Newman,
it's he was a-
but he's been gone for a long time.
He was a product of his time.
Paul Newman. Dave,
Yeah.
is that what you said? Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah, and again, I would say the same thing with Steve McQueen too, where that you would build a role around those people,
Yep.
and to play to their strengths, but he also had again, as this catalog we just went through shows, he had a lot of range, I will say I think I will concede I've got sentimental attachments to a lot of those films. I think The Natural is probably the perfect Robert Redford film. Because it's not it's kind of in that middle era where it shows his acting is fully developed and it's eclipsed, just like the Pretty Boy thing and the it's a great film, absolutely great.
Yep.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
sure.
They don't make him like that anymore.
They do not.
Nope.
Alrighty, let's go. What's in the box?
Show you in the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Where are we going? Well, no, I know where we're going. We're going to Daryl first because we sort
Yeah,
of see what the hell you got going
we've been
on.
wanting to see something that's just out of frame here.
So I mentioned this, I think, the last time I was on with you guys, or maybe 2 times ago, that a buddy of mine contacted me. They found a piece of original Adventure Team artwork that was, unknown. It just came out of, kind of private hands. So we, as the collecting community, didn't know this painting still existed. And after I paid a heavy price for it, but I had to get it, and it is the Big Trapper.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that.
Now, I did not set out, for those of you who know 12-inch G.I. Joe deeply, Big Trapper is one of the vehicles, along with the Capture Copter, that it was really introduced to battle the Intruders, which were the new bad guys introduced in 1975 for G.I. Joe. This was when in my childhood, I was kind of transitioning out of getting G.I. Joe under the Christmas tree at this point, and I moved into Star Wars pretty soon after, because these were a little too fantastical for me. I would just rather play real Adventures of G.I. Joe, not against these weird cavemen, the Intruders. But I own... Oh, sorry.
50 of them. I was going to say, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, but I did army build Intruders at one point because I could. But I also own the original artwork for the Capture Copter and also most of the Intruder Commander. So by default, I've become like the Intruder guy, not really intending it. I don't even really like them, but I love the artwork. So here's a piece
great
of
artwork.
Yeah,
nice
Can
piece
you
of
hold it
Don's
up a little? It's got that great 75 orange background. That's awesome.
So my buddy, or our buddy Ace, is coming over in a couple days on his way to Jolanta, which is this weekend. So I kept it out of frame to show him, and then as soon as Ace takes off, I'm going to take it and get it framed.
What's it on? What's it painted on?
It is on
a board or
it's on I think Bristol board.
Yeah, okay.
So
that's what mine was.
Like all Stiver's stuff, it's gouache on Bristol board. But this is actually a big piece. It's substantial, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
And it does have water.
As when I had the helicopter artwork, it was about that same size.
That's nice. That's a big piece. Then you have, and like most of the Adventure Team artwork, it does have water damage along the edges. That's why it was thrown out. There was a flood at Hasbro, and so they took all the art and tossed it in the dumpster because if they didn't, it was just going to develop black mold and be a health hazard. So everything paper. They got some water, went outside in the trash, and luckily people rescued that, and that's how come the paintings that are out there today, they have surfaced because people wholesale, like the security guards would just grab an armload and take them home. So so the quest continues for more art. I'm very happy about this one, but I'm always looking for the next one too.
Congrats on that one. That's a really good one.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Todd, what do you got?
Okay. Shock to no one, I have a new X06 figure. This is
Giorgio. Oh, no.
Oh, nice.
Okay. This is freaking amazing. Okay, there's more detail in this than any of the figures that I've gotten. He's got real hair. It's the only figure they've done so far that's got real hair, and it actually looks like the hair.
Look at his eyebrows. Jesus.
it's just and it really looks like Christopher Lloyd. It's just
It totally
great.
does.
Got the cape, got the things. This is he's got the one of my favorite things from the motion picture is the Klingon redesign, and he's a great example of that.
Yeah.
Got the classic warrior costume that they continued up through the Next Generation, and just a really, really good. I wanted one Klingon, and I think he's a perfect representation of that. And this is just a great execution. It's a little more expensive than the other figures because of all the detail. That's one of the things I do like that company does is the prices vary, but depending on what you get with them and what's there, and there you see the value difference in this. And this is one that when I last checked, Troy still has in stock.
Really?
So if you're looking to add a Klingon to your collection, it's really good. And the box, like I said, really nice box, really well done, and it's a little more premium than the other boxes. And like I said,
that's what's weird.
Figure.
Like, is there anything else from Star Trek 3 out there?
No, and I can't think of anything that's really neat to be.
Aren't they doing a Robin Curtis Savick?
Well, they did. No, they did.
Oh no, they did the other Savick, right?
They did, yeah, and but yeah, no, that's it at this point.
It just makes it's just so random, but that is a good looking.
But also,
figure.
I think he's the most. When we get theoretically the Wrath of Khan figures, they're going to look essentially the same as they were.
Yeah.
Same uniform. They'll work with this era.
Yeah, no, that's true. He is the most Klingon, iconic Klingon, I guess.
Yeah. They also made
first
Chang,
bunch of films.
I don't have a thing for Chang. I would like. I said this before. I want an original series Klingon.
Yeah.
I want the unacknowledged. I want the sweaty, heavy makeup looking guys.
You want the Migo blown up into 12
Yeah, you
inch.
want to basically like the Migo
do not want a
figure
12 inch
without the gold beads on his tunic.
Yeah. But I do want an original series Klingon too. But I think I'm good then. So,
cool.
Yep.
Brian, what do you got?
I finally got my American flag figure. I had to chase him
sweet.
down.
Oh crap! Awesome.
That looks like Reuben Flagg in the flesh. Look at that.
Yeah, and it even has his cat.
Oh, cool.
His cat. He's
makes
got
that
multiple hands. I haven't actually taken
I would
that out of the
argue
box
that the cat's not so much his as he's the cat.
That's
right.
The cat. So it's got the 666 pistol as well. It's
Nice.
a great little figure. And I had to chase him down because I pre-ordered it and it was forever. They said we have them in stock. I was like, why haven't I gotten it? They said we shipped it to you. I was like, I didn't get it. Well, the company that shipped them said it was undeliverable to my address, which is like bullshit. So they had to ship me a second one before I finally got it.
Who makes that figure?
Who is it? Iconic Heroes. So that's the series. Loose Collector.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they're
executive.
they're pretty new in there's a I want to say Rocketeer, but it's not Rocketeer. It's the Commando Cody. They have a Commando Cody figure too that I'm probably gonna have to order because it's pretty cool as well. And the big item is the 1/6 scale space pod from 2001.
Oh,
wow!
That's gonna be big. Hopefully they'll ship it to me because I pre-ordered that as well.
So are you going to open up American Flag, Brian? Take it out, display it?
I may. Yeah. I'm hoping Chaikin is going to show up again at Rhode Island Comic Con. Maybe get him to sign it. We'll see.
Then you wouldn't open it. You'll just leave it.
Yeah.
Then you'll get a second one to have open.
Hopefully you'll get it delivered. You get the second one delivered in like a month.
Well, if he doesn't, you can bet he'll be at Terrificon next year. He seems to do that show every year. So worst case, you'll have to come up for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he must live in Connecticut or something.
Howie.
Yeah. Barry, what do you got?
Well, so you guys know I've been putting together a run of Marvel Star Wars comics, and I'm getting very close to being done on that. I went to a show this weekend, a local comic show, that when we were at Terrificon, I saw one of the dealers had a sign up that there was going to be a comic book show on Long Island. It was this past Saturday. and it was only like 20 minutes from my house, and it was free, which was great. No charge to get in. And so I'm down to 10 comics now that I need to complete my entire Marvel Star Wars run, including all these extra issues and the giant size and the everything. So I'm getting very close on that. And I'm fighting the urge to go too far down a rabbit hole on comic books in general. And I don't have any desire to go after superhero comics, but I did kind of decide that there's some short runs, and I know we always talk about it's nice to have like a short run of something to go after. So I'm thinking I want to get all the Marvel Battlestar Galactica comics. There's only like 23 of those, and I would think I want to get all the Indiana Jones comics from Marvel because there's only like 25 of those. But what I was able to pick up, and I got the entire run in one shot,
Nice.
all 7 Logan's Run comic books.
All right.
One shot.
Nice.
And I want to test my comic book guys here. Do you know what's special about issue number... Well, there's 2 things about Logan's Run comics that are special that I found out. One has to specifically to do with issue number 6. I'm looking at Todd and Daryl mostly on this.
Nude Jessica? No, sorry.
Not Nude Jessica, no. I'm stumping the comic book guys. This is great.
Well,
I read these. I bought these and read
there were
them
9
back
of
in
them
the
for
day.
a reason.
So Barry, are the first ones a movie adaptation, and then this goes beyond the movie?
The first 5 are the movie adaptation.
Yes. So this goes beyond the movie.
6 and 7 take the story beyond. So
Excellent.
2 things. One, in a whole, apparently there was a mix-up between MGM and Marvel, and Marvel thought they had the rights to continue on like they did with Star Wars. MGM thought they had only granted the rights just for the movie adaptation. So they got to episode 6, and then they did issue 6 and 7. And issue 7 ends with a coming in the next issue, and then they were in a legal battle, and they just had to shut the line down. So they never got to finish telling the story, which is one of the interesting things. But the other interesting thing, and apparently at one point this issue 6 was going for a decent amount of money, because there's the very first ever standalone Thanos story is that it's added on story at the end of this comic.
Oh,
but
really?
then they've since reprinted that, so now this isn't as desirable of a comic. But there's like a 5-page Thanos story with Thanos and Drax at the back end of this issue.
Wow.
Yeah, that's totally where I would put it in a movie tie-in.
Apparently, and it's even in the letters to the editor in this issue that they said that because they didn't call out what it was, but they called it contractual discussions with the studio. They didn't have enough content, so they decided rather than have it be a short book, they would throw a story in, and then they threw in this Thanos story at the end of the comic.
Wow.
So yeah, episode 7 or issue 7 ends with find out what happens next beyond Cathedral, and then we never found out what happened next. But
Do you have
I got
number
all 7
1
issues
sitting there?
What was that?
You have number 1 sitting
Yes.
there? I think George Perez drew at least the cover.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. I had that one.
Wow.
I had that whole run. I did not remember. I don't remember that, but back in the day, that was a weird time in general. I mean, it's like when DC did. I don't know if Daryl, you ever saw this, but when DC rebooted the universe with the Crisis, they canceled. They went through and just canceled all these books that had already been written and drawn. And so out there, I mean, I bought it at a comic show. It was this like 3-inch thick binder with all the pages. It was called Comic Cavalcade or something like this, that they had printed with all this with black and white photocopied versions of the stories that we never got.
wow.
No, I didn't know about this.
Those characters were just obliterated and no longer existed.
Wow.
And the original Starfire, which was a sword and sorcery character, a few things like this that just like totally went away and were never acknowledged again. There were the final issues in those things, which they just never printed.
Well, and I guess what
That's what
happened
happened
here
to the
was
Warlord.
they went into production on the TV show, and they didn't want to have the comic book competing with
And
the
that's
stories
what
of
I'm
the
saying.
TV
So a
show.
lot of these things were very. I mean, comics were very, I don't say under the radar, but it was a completely different sort of thing where you could publish 2 issues before the studio would even notice. I was like, oh, is that supposed to happen?
And I guess that's what happened. They got issues 6 and 7 out and then had to just shut it down. But anyway, like I said, they were all in good condition. They had the whole run of 7 there. I think I paid like $60 for it. So it was, they came home.
Yeah, lately I've been more interested in getting comic back issues and going and looking through the things, and I hadn't had that feeling about back issues in a long time, and you just kind of underscored, Barry, how fun they are. Now, are you reading your Star Wars
I'm
comics?
waiting until I have them all because I don't want, and I mean, look, I have them all digitally, so I could easily be reading them, but I'm kind of been waiting until I get them all so that I can go through and not have to stop. And it's funny, I picked up, and Todd knows this because I texted him over the weekend, I picked up in the $3 bin is a Star Trek X-Men crossover comic book.
And they were thrilled that you bought that.
What's that?
They were like, yes!
Listen, for $3, I'm like, Star Trek and X-Men, I need to know how they cross over.
It was one of those things that in the era was just so grossly over-solicited. And I think I got that a couple times in lots that I bought. And
it came out in '96, and it's this very thick issue. And then I'm reading, and the story ends. I'm like, well, what the hell is in the rest of this? And it was basically like 10 pages of pinup photos that they drew of just this different Star Trek characters. But it was a stupid story, but it was just fun to see the X-Men and TOS Star Trek characters.
It was a '90s thing. We can't really explain it.
But yeah, Daryl, when we went to Terrificon, I think I bought 32 back issues and filled out most of what I was missing on the Star Wars stuff. But now I'm down to 10. So
I applaud your diligence for getting them in person at shows too, instead of just ordering
it's so much
online.
better to do that than
it's no fun to just pick them up on eBay and
go
condition wise. I want to at least
and pick them up.
I'm not super concerned that they're like high end grade worthy. I just don't want the covers to be ripped, and I want them to be readable and not falling apart.
That's fine.
I will warn you, the Marvel indie comics are fairly weak. The really good indie comics with the Dark Horse runs.
The Dark Horse,
And those actually are pricey. The originals are pretty pricey, but there's those were like 3 and 4 issue runs, and those were great stories that were very much in character.
Like
and
Fate of Atlantis, I think I remember.
Yep. The Sargasso Sea and they took like real kind of things that would have made great indie stories and wrote them into indie stories and wove in some new back characters. So those are definitely worth reading if you stumble across those.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been. I mean, in this show I went to over the weekend was small, but like it was hard to find even Star Wars Marvel books because most of the people that are going, at least at that show, were bringing whatever is most popular and whatever is going to sell.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
And I didn't have the patience to go through every single box that said $3 comics on them because they're not in any order, and I'm just like, that's not. I just need, if I saw the guy had a section that said Marvel Star Wars, I was in, but otherwise, Anyway, Dave, what's in the box?
I have nothing exciting, but maybe only Brian will appreciate this because I didn't really have anything. Brian, do you know what that is? And I didn't know these existed. It's an acrylic bender.
Cool.
Okay. It heats up acrylic so you can bend it. And I actually had a project I needed to bend some acrylic for.
You can make those beautiful curves.
It bends them in half. I was using a heat gun. What?
No, what's the depth? Oh, so it's like 4
it's like
6 inches?
the 2 aluminum little. They're flat, but you can hold it and then just
melt it.
No, it's just the right temperature to.
Yeah, the right temperature.
Able to now make those rolled corners on things?
No, there's no. I'm not. This can't do it, and I'm not doing it. That's a pain in the ass. You probably could. With this,
okay.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got a 3-foot one in the garage.
Yeah, you've got that thing. I was looking for that, but I did. Yeah. I needed to do. I actually. I did a project I can't talk about, but it was holding a sword. And I needed to sort of just I made a thing that where I bent it. So this, you hold it straight and then heat it up for 20 seconds and then you literally bend it with your hands and, I would hold it up to a square or something to bend it.
So can you do like a 90-degree bend with that?
You can make any degree bend with it.
Acrylic
Yeah.
is really flexible when you get it to the right temperature.
Yeah.
Even vacuum form acrylic.
How much is that thing?
I can't imagine. It was like $25 or something.
I need some of those for school.
Yeah, I've got a Batmobile case to make, so I'm going to get my
For
big
the
vendor out and
for
some
Innovation Lab, there's some things that they've made with the Glowforge that
They need
bend
to
with-
bend it,
yeah.
yeah. It comes with like this same thing that's maybe 2.5 inches wide and flat. I don't exactly know what you do with that. I guess if you want to do a curve, because this makes melts a very small area, and it's just like a sharp bend, but any
Right.
degree.
That makes sense.
So I haven't tried that one, but I literally used to clamp the piece down, hold it with blocks of wood, put tin foil over the blocks of wood, and then heat it with a heat gun. This is way easier. So there you go. That's what's in the box. Anyway, okay, that was plenty. That was lots of show.
I have a quick thing. I'm just curious, and I'm really maybe more for Brian than anybody, but I don't know if you saw that Jazz Inc. is making Batcave accessories. I sent the link
really?
to Dave and Todd the other day. They look
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
1/6 scale to go with like the Hot Toys figures. And since you've got the Batmobile, they've got the Bat computers and all that stuff.
I might have to get the Bat computer because it's got the Burroughs 205 on
It's,
it.
Well,
it does,
and
and
really?
they claim it's got the right
The
light
blinking
sequence
lights
and everything.
in the right, yeah.
Now, is
Really?
this for 60s or will it?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
the 66 Batcave.
Oh, okay.
It looked really good.
Because I've got my 89 Batmobile that I want to get on display when I get my
Yep.
my Batcave built out.
Yeah.
So you could like pose that next to the 89 Batmobile and have the Michael Keaton figure looking perplexed next to it. You know, just,
Yeah, I just
is
thought I
good.
wanted to mention it just because I know you've got the Batmobile, and I know Dave and Todd, you guys have the Hot Toys Batman figures, but I
Yep.
thought
Yep.
they looked really
Oh,
cool,
yeah, I gotta
and
break out
they're
my-
officially licensed, which is nice. They're not just
Yeah.
So anyway,
so Dave, before we go, what's going on in Dave's workshop?
Oh, yes.
besides bending acrylic,
Yes, I was bending some acrylic. I did finish the clapper thing. I'll have pictures of it. That was for Fast and Furious, a clapper from Fast and Furious. I laser cut mat boards, which I really haven't done before, so that's interesting. I do have a big project coming up that a friend I've done some other stuff for, a client I've done some other stuff for. He's got an alien head from the original mold, so I'm making a big, giant case for it. It's over 40 inches long. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm working on that. But other stuff, too. I'm actually a bunch of plaques and stuff. But if you need a display or a plaque, check us out from davesworkshop.com. Or you could email me from davesworkshop@gmail.com and tell me the regular Joe sent you. And that's what we're doing. So, we're doing anything next week? I'm sure we're doing something next week.
Dave and I may have some stuff to
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about. We're going to an event this week, another auction preview.
That all you guys say you want to be notified about, but it's not worth you coming. So we'll talk about that after in post-show gold.
I have a little last thought. I want to touch base real quick on the end of Strange New Worlds, which did not pan out to be any better than the rest of Strange New Worlds.
Wait, that may be an episode. Do you want to...
Really? A whole episode in the last two episodes?
Well,
Are
it'll
you
be half
watching-
of an episode.
Brian, are you watching Alien Earth?
No, I want to get caught up on it.
We should probably do an episode where we cover that. Once that wraps, cover Strange New Worlds, and maybe a couple. Unless you just really want to vent. And,
No,
Alien Earth is wrapping as we record this. So.
that's what I'm saying. It's like
Oh,
so we
I'm
can
one behind or two behind.
do that, and then
Yeah, we definitely wanted to cover that, but we
you
pushed
guys have
it.
said it's pretty scary, so I don't know if I want to see. My wife might not like the quote-unquote eyeball monster.
My wife is watching it. If my wife can watch it, it's not
I can't... That eyeball monster is everywhere now.
oh yeah,
He's
it's like
awesome.
Grogu. It's the new Grogu.
It is the new
Yeah.
logo. All right, well, we'll have you back on, and we'll talk Star Trek. It could be even next week.
Get caught up on Alien Earth, Brian.
Okay, how many episodes are there? 8? I
It's
hope.
only-
6?
Yeah, it's only 8.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.